Hey guys, so I'm here at the DMV because I have to figure something out. The temporary registration that CNC Motors gave to me expires in 2 days. And after that, the car isn't legal to drive on the road. So this is all just crazy. I don't have my hopes up that they're going to be able to figure out what's going on with the registration and title here. But I want to make sure that it's documented, that I'm trying to do my best, anything I can to get this car properly registered in California. So wish me luck. All right, well, I just got out of the DMV an hour later after standing in line for 3 hours, and I got some pretty bad news. There's a stop placed on the title that means it's wrapped up in investigations right now. And so they couldn't do anything. They couldn't transfer, they couldn't do anything. It was never transferred to my name. However, CNC did have the title at some point, and I do know that it is free and clear, so there's no lien on it. The only thing that's bad and a time-pressing matter is my bank is increasing my interest rate exponentially if they don't get the title to them. So I have to call and plead with them and say, like, listen, you know, I can't do anything. Even the DMV can't do anything. It's wrapped up in investigations, and they can release it when that's over, but who knows how long that's going to be. So I don't know. I'm going to ask for like 3 months, and hopefully they're cool about it. Otherwise, I'm going to be paying a double payment on a car I can't legally drive in 3 days. Wow, just wow. Well, here we are, back at the DMV, day 2. So what I did is I went home, I called my bank to let them know what was going on. And they're like, well, sir, you know, the stop on these titles, they take like 4 months to get off. We could give you to the end of May maybe to figure it out, but I don't know. And I was like, okay. So then I called up DMV investigations, and I was like, you guys are preventing me not only from, you know, all this title and getting it into my name and blah, 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 but the car will be illegal to drive in 2 days unless I get it registered under me. The temporary registration is out. Once my interest rate goes up, I won't be able to make the payment. And so not only am I screwed that way, the bank can't take the car from me because it's like illegal. My credit is ruined, therefore I probably can't get another one of these things unless I'm paying cash. Huge mess, huge. So I called up the what is it? Special Victims Unit? No, the investigator, and they said, okay, well, we don't want to be responsible for it, you know, getting into that type of mess. We're taking that stop off the title right now. They said you could go into the DMV tomorrow. You'll probably have to pay the registration fees again. Does that include taxes? Because taxes on this car was like $8,000. They're like, no, just bring in the sales receipt and, you know, everything that you have, and it should only be like 15 bucks. Okay. So here I am again, bright and early. I probably look pretty crappy, but I have to get here at like 7 a.m. just to stand in line to get a number. I don't know. I really hope that I can get it registered today. That's the goal. And everyone says supposedly I can. We'll see. What a mess. Jeez. Well, I thought I was gonna have some good news. I just got out of the DMV. I was in there for about 2 hours. They were going back and forth with people on the phone, leaving messages, talking to people. I'm sitting there trying to like just be cool. And then finally she came back. She's like, well, no one's picking up from the investigations section of the DMV in Riverside. So they have to wait for them to call back. So they released me and said, okay, well, once we hear from them, then we'll give you a call and then come back in, and I shouldn't have to stand in line. I'm sure that'll be a mess too, but who knows what's gonna happen. I hope that whoever told me yesterday from investigations that the title stop has been taken off of it so that they can process the registration, I hope that's true still. You know, once again, no hope up. I thought that I would have something today, but who knows. Anyway, I'll let you guys know. Okay, So, a good update, I think. This is the next day. I forgot to record the little recap yesterday after the DMV stuff. They did call me back the same day, and it was like around 3 o'clock. I was in a meeting with one of my biggest clients, and I was like, man, I'm so sorry, but I have to go and take care of this. It's a really long story. So anyway, she was nice and cool. I left. I went back to the DMV. I didn't have to wait in line. The good news is the stop has been released on the title. They started reprocessing the registration, and I had to pay $15 for another registration fee, but that was it. And so I want to give a really special shout out to Megan at the DMV. Amazing customer service. She went above and beyond to help me. She understood my situation and the stress and how it could really kill my livelihood if this stuff doesn't get taken care of. This is what I got. I got my little tag here. CNC, when they sell the cars, if they're out of registration, it's either up to the owner to get it smogged if it needs a smog, or them or whomever, but they didn't get it smogged. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Fingers crossed that it passes smog. I kind of don't even want to go there in that headspace. Assuming if I could get this thing smogged today, then I should get my new plates in the mail fairly soon after that. So, and then the title gets released to my bank. Everybody's happy. Oh, and by the way, I called my bank up, and they did give me an extension until the end of May. And I'm like done. Every single day I'm working on this thing. So here we go. You know, we're always one step forward, two steps back with this thing. So the good thing is it passed smog. You know, that's why I went there, and that's what I was hoping. And, you know, I wasn't quite sure what happened. The power just went out. Sounds like a future YouTube video. So the technician I took it to was incredibly knowledgeable about these supercars, and I really feel like him and I kind of made a cool connection, and I have a feeling I might be featuring him in a few of these videos coming up. As he was checking it, he noticed there was a bunch of sounds that this car should not be making, and we found out what happened was on the driver's side front wheel, that's where the main computer harness is kept, and when the fan kicked on to cool the car, it made that loose and was hitting some of the wires. And I mean, we're talking like pretty close to an electrical fire at this point. And it was really loud, and so that's horrible. You know, once again, just another repair thing that I got to get looked at. I'm not really even driving this car. I was only driving it to the smog place, and on the way there, man, it started really acting weird. So second gear, it would just go into neutral. I'm accelerating, and then it would flash and then neutral. Then I have to find the gear, and people are honking at me. I mean, that's the story. I was like at a stop, and I started to accelerate, and I hear this like really loud, strange sound, kind of like a yeah. I don't know. I think it's like it was a pump type sound, like some kind of like something was suctioning something that wasn't there. I don't know. It could have been like an F1 pump, fuel. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to get this car smogged and legally all taken care of before we even get into the mess of the repairs. And then there is, unfortunately, another issue with this. When I gave him my DMV paperwork, it didn't match the VIN that was actually on the car. And they put a 0 where a O should have been at the DMV. So I have to go back there next week and get that squared away before they send plates about, you know, a car that doesn't really exist or something. I don't know. So just another thing I got to do with this dumb thing. But hey, progress is being made. The car passed smog. I hope they could just fix the typo at the DMV side. I hope my bank gets everything that they need, and then we can really get into the repairs. And what is it going to take to get this car back to original condition? I'm not going to be modifying it by putting on a ton of aftermarket stuff. If anything, later on I might do an exhaust, but I just want to get this thing working perfectly, dialed in, so I can start showing you guys why I even like this car, because currently probably not the smartest choice. However, I think once we get it dialed in, it's going to be a blast, because I can tell you already, when it's shifting properly and everything's beautiful, man, it is like, it's a dream. I'm hoping to find somebody that would like to just rip the car apart and find every single, you know, gremlin and an issue that's going on with this thing. Obviously, I want a you know, Ferrari certified technician, and maybe they might want to be featured on this channel, and I can actually film the whole process of how to take this apart, all the things that are wrong with it. I don't know, I think that could be a good episode. It's weird my life is now broken into episodes. So that's the update. Thanks guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share if you can. Oh, and real quick before we go, I wanted to give you an update on the lug nut situation from when they all fell out onto the street last week. 4 of them were put back in, unfortunately way over torqued and did a little bit of damage. So I visited my friend Joe at Strata and Corsa in Sacramento here. He did a great job of showing us kind of what to do, what can happen when it's over torqued. Anyway, here's Joe. He does a great job of explaining it. All right.
How's it going? So we're here with Matt today, and what we are trying to do is fix his wheel. What's happened is the prior mechanic, unfortunately, and it happens to everybody, they get distracted, but they did not torque down all the lug nuts. Visually, they didn't realize it, probably took the car for a test drive, but if they aren't torqued to spec, they will eventually walk off. So anyway, he was out driving it and the wheel did walk off on him. But what I'm gonna recommend to you is, regardless what car you're in, don't try to just force the lug nut back on. If it starts to catch or something, then I do recommend that you just try to get it to a shop that has the right tools, or if you have the tools at home, that's fine, but don't go try to force it on to get it back home. Because what you're gonna end up with, and I think I gave it to Matt there, is you're gonna end up with this happening, if you can get a close visual in on that. And what it ends up doing is ends up stripping out the threads on that. And we've got another one here that was kind of getting that way, I think. Oh yeah, this one here too. And so what it does is also, as the wheel starts to fall off, it starts to flatten those threads out, because now it's walking out and the wheel's forcing on it. So it's not gonna help just to try to put it back on. If you can get a couple of them that you can hand start on, get 2 or 3 on. Don't try to get all 5 or 6 or whatever it is that you have. Just get on what you have, drive slow, get it home. But then you need to get a tap and you need some cutting oil, and that's when, you know, the work begins, and you have to start cutting new threads in there and cleaning them up. And so anyway, that's kind of where we are now. We're just trying to see if we can clean the threads up, get them a couple new lug nuts and get them back on the road. But again, word to the wise, it's only going to make it worse. And what you end up doing is you end up destroying the hub, not the lug nut or the wheel or anything else, but now the hub, and now you get to replace the hub. Anyway, have a great day.